So, this has been a, 2 months. This has been a 2 month thing that might, depending on how the editing goes, might spread into a 2.5 month or 3 month thing. I'm not sure entirely at this point, but this has been at this point, 2 month adventure of PutleStory. So, what is this game? So, if you saw my last video, which was 2 months ago already, that doesn't seem right to me, but I have been busy as a bee, and that was PutleStory. So, this is the first game from Studio Mangosteen, which is PutleStory. It is pronounced PutleStory, not PutleStory, as I kind of half said it was in PutleStory because I didn't know how to pronounce it yet. But so I've been researching my butt off on this thing, as I tend to when I'm fascinated with a piece of art. And I researched my butt off with PutleStory as well. And all of Akihiro Izuhara's art and work and such, his website has been very valuable to me in just like figuring out what is going on here. And I spent the past 2 months, like I played this game through almost 2 months ago now, probably 2 months ago by the time I put this video up. I'm sorry, it has taken me a while to get around to this because I've been busy in real life, and also transliterating and localizing this to what I can decipher and ponder about with what is intended here. It's kind of been an on and off thing for me, with me being busy in real life and then coming back to this, sitting down for a day, an afternoon, working on this. Then another week goes by, sit down, work on this. I finished the script for this maybe about a week and a half ago, and my power went out literally last night when I was about to try and work on this again. So I'm like, okay, hopefully my power, and it just came back like 2 hours ago. So I'm like, hopefully my power doesn't go out again, because I'm going to be in Chicago tomorrow, and I'm going to be busy again the rest of the week, and I'm going to be busy like this for the rest of the summer. So I'm like, I don't know what the status of the YouTube channel is going to be the rest of the summer, but when I get time to put out a video, I'm going to put out a video. Be that a Ghost of Tsushima part, be that a Pokemon part, be that Assassin's Creed Valhalla I want to get back into, but I can't right now. I will try to find time for that. Anyway, I'm trying to get this off and running. So, we are here with PutleStory. What is this? So, PutleStory is an interactive, narrative, immersive story. Think of it kind of like a storybook in some ways. It's an art game. It came out in 1996 in Japan only. It is made by Studio Mangosteen, who is Akihiro Izuhara is the animation and graphics, and then the screenplay was written by let me get her name right, Ikuko Mizukami. And they both have their own websites if you want to look them up. It's easier to go to Studio Mangosteen's website directly. It's just Studio Mangosteen. That's Akihiro's main website for like, that's kind of like his pseudonym and his like thing. But it also has links to her website and like all the art she does. Her art's a little different than his. The stuff that we see here in this game and in PutleStory, to my knowledge, and from looking between both of their art catalogs, is mostly, if not 99% Akihiro's. I'm assuming that the story narrative is mostly written between them both. So, what is going on with PutleStory? So, I am utterly fascinated with Akihiro's work, both his photography. As a fellow photographer myself, I freaking love it because it's very similar to Lasse Hoyle in Carl Glover's from Europe, and they're big influences for me, but his is very similar in kind of creating extra content for this fictional animal world of Vita Lacamaya, which is the setting of all of this. I'm sorry if I'm jumping around. This is a lot of stuff I'm throwing because I've been researching all this stuff for months, and I don't know how to, I haven't written a script for this. I have a script for the game. So, he makes interesting photos about this world that we are about to see, I assume in context of this world, because there is no other context for those photos. They are on his website as well. I also recommend his website. And I'm not being paid for any of this shit. This is just me. This is just me being fascinated with this guy's work. So, and I feel like people need to see this stuff. So, he also has a lot of extra artwork that he has done over the past 25 years or so after both of these games came out, and some things from before these games as well. He seems to have been doing this since about the early to mid 80s or so. But in the 90s, for some reason, he put out a few games, like in the late 80s to the early 90s, he put out a few games for weird things like, I think there's one for like the Philips CDI as well. There's a video game. It has Toppy, who is one of the main characters in this game, has like a weird fake early fake version of them as like some buff muscle dude who fights other anthropomorphic animal anime characters. Oh my god, the PC. Oh, is that the capture or the PC? Something has happened. Something has happened. Let me progress this and see if it is fixed. Okay, so we are going to be restarting OBS because OBS is freaked out. I'm running this game on a Windows Gateway 2000 Millennium Edition PC that I got for free from some people I worked with on a gig 2 years ago. So this is like the first time, like I've already played both PutleStory and PutleStory on this PC, so I know they fully work. Whereas the only other videos of this game on the internet, on like YouTube and stuff, are incomplete playthroughs in Japanese, no explanation or context of what they are, through emulation, and there's a lot more glitches in them. There's only a couple glitches, a couple graphical glitches running this on real hardware from what I have seen. Anyway, I'm going to restart OBS because it is freaking out right now, and I hope this doesn't happen during gameplay. Alright, so I had to restart my computer because it doesn't want to play nice with the second computer. So, oh man, I did not want this to become a tech thing today. Anyway, so let me open back up the script for me when we get into that. Anyway, I really hope this does not stick while we're in the middle of playing the game, because there's a save function, I believe, but it's not the greatest. Anyway, let me cut down all the fat. So, been researching this game for two-ish months and localizing it to a degree. This is not like a studio perfect localization, but I have taken extended amount of times to really try and break down what is going on here, because for people who know Japanese, Japanese is not like English in a lot of ways. And some things like enunciation or, like intent with the way you say things, a lot of that is not really a thing in Japanese, weirdly enough, to people who don't know that. If you're trying to speak Japanese in some sort of way, like you learn Japanese and you give some sort of like inflection or things like that in the way you say certain things to mean certain things, a lot of Japanese folks are going to understand that you're a foreigner immediately, because that's not much of a common thing when you're speaking native Japanese. So I realized very quickly upon translating all of the dialogue in this. By the way, how many pages is this? How many screens of dialogue? There's no screen of like written dialogue in PutleStory. So this was a thing I had to deal with. How many pages, screens? There are 258 screens of dialogue. A lot of it's not like book page dialogue, but it's like a sentence, two sentences, a sentence, and they're all fairly well loaded. There are a few things in the script I did not change at all, because either they were totally fine in the transliteration into English, they made sense, but there was actually probably about half to 75% of this script needed to be localized, and that's why I undertook a bit of it. Because a lot of what is said here would not really make contextual or verbal sense in English. So, like, the way people talk. Do the characters have any sort of, like, way that they talk? Things like that. Some of that was so and I mean this in no offense, but just like so robotic and so straight faced that it wouldn't make sense really to someone who speaks native English. It would come off very lacking of context or nonsensical in some ways. So this is more of a way, what I've done here is tried to keep all the same dialogue, maybe switch around a few words to make it make sense in English, is the proper way to put it. And yeah, I'm not paid. I wasn't paid to do any of this stuff. This is just my own personal undertaking of trying to make all of this presentable in an English-speaking manner. So, love it or hate it, I'm sorry. There are other videos out there that show it. I get the fun job of not only having to do all that over 2 months, but also now I have to re-edit it into the video itself, because I'm going to talk through it with my script that I have on my second monitor, but I'm also going to edit in that text from this script, either having to retype it in, I don't know yet, or just directly plopping it in from the script because they're the same screens, and putting it in the video for you to watch along, for you to read along and watch along and see how this is. Anyway, here we go. We're going to see if this works properly this time. And I'm going to do my best not to kind of hold up too much in case it's the holding up that makes the game crash. All right, tech issues, tech issues, tech issues. We're restarting the computer. Like I said, this is, I wanted this to go so smoother than this, but, you know, old technology, foreign technology with the game that it's trying to run, it's touch and go. So, that's the thing. Everyone else I've seen on YouTube who has tried is the big word, tried to play this, did not really, they didn't finish, none of them finished the game because I kept trying to run this in emulators and it always crashed at some point. I've played through the game. I have a recording of the whole playthrough of the game of me playing it for the first time. There's just not my dialogue over it, so we gotta do this real legit with this saucy grandpa computer. All right. Let's see if we can get it, because we got the video feedback, but we lost the audio. So, we'll see. Okay. Audio issues, tech issues seem to be solved now. I'm not going to discuss the past 2 hours in between the last bit of me talking to now. It took 2 hours to fix this. I went through every single little thing, and I just hope that everything works out from here on out now. So, this is PutleStory. I've kind of given a little bit of a preamble beforehand, but we're going to play through it now. I have the script up. We're going to have a good day with this. And if you can hear the Windows 2000 rig off to the side here, I'm sorry, it is an old computer and it does make noise. But, here we go. Right. So, let me re-explain a little bit, since for me it's been 2 hours now of tech issues. This screen is a weird one in that it does kind of load in for a while it tries to render the image correctly. Anyway, this is a glitch that's just consistent every time I play this game. So, let me explain the setup again. So, the text that you're going to be seeing on the screen, in the dialog boxes, there are 258 or 59, I forget exact, of text throughout this game. What you're going to see is me post-process, after I'm done recording all this, I'm going to try and edit that into the video itself. So you can see what I'm reading off of from my script. Which took me 2 months on and off of translating when I had the time. And it's also a localization, so it's not directly the Japanese text. It is me trying to, in my understanding of Japanese, make it make sense in English, because a lot of the dialogue in this game is very flat in an expected way, but also the way that you would say things in English is near to non-existent. It's a very, very... some of the pages took me a while to kind of just ponder about, like, how would you say this in English? So some of it is direct translations that didn't need any sort of, you know, contextual clarity of a character saying something, or like what they mean by saying something, anything like that. It's just a way to make this make a bit more sense into English. And I'm playing this on a old Windows Gateway 2000 Millennium Edition PC that I got for free by some people I worked for 2 years ago. This is the first game, and I already played through PutleStory and this game, and those are like the first two things I've really used this PC with. Obviously, it's giving me a bit of a headache today. It's not being very lovely jubblies. And I'm using a Sony Vaio keyboard and a Sony Vaio ball mouse from I don't know when. They came with the computer. They work fine. You can see my mouse here. This is working fine. But I'm also connected to my actual real processing PC, where I'm reading the script and such, because once again, it's like 258 pages. I'm not going to print all of that out and flip through the whole script on paper. That would just be a lot of wasted ink. So I'm pretty much double teaming between two PCs doing this. And yeah, this screen specifically, this is actually a good example of something just to kind of talk about, and I hope the game holds out while I talk about some things from time to time. The game doesn't really have any major glitches from my experience playing through it once. It has a few graphical glitches like this. This kind of glitch where it kind of fuzzes out a little bit and kind of rastrifies itself. There's a couple... There's like two to four, less than a dozen times that this happens on some of the character models specifically throughout the game, and I'm just assuming that's just a feature of the age of the game, because I'm playing this on era-appropriate hardware. I am playing this through a CD player, which is then going into this PC, which is then going into my computer, which is then going to a 4K TV, feeding back to my computer, back to my monitor, into OBS. That is the linkage we have here to get this running in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's begin. As I said before, this is an immersive art game about a world that has been created by Akihito Izuhara, who is an artist. He doesn't do video games anymore. He does a lot of his own little art projects, a lot of illustration, a lot of animation. I say a lot, as in like every couple of years he puts out an animation. He tends to take them to Berlin and other like film festivals. It seems more specifically a lot in Germany, but I don't know the guy, so I don't know exactly everything he does. That's just what he shows on his website and seems to talk about on social media quite a bit. But yeah, this is very much... I'm going to try and not talk too much, because a lot of this is very much like, you're here, you're this human, this person, you wake up in this field, and you don't know where you are. So, here we go. Also, if you hear a lawnmower or dogs outside, I believe my neighbor is doing stuff, so Apologies for that. Once again, this is the first day. Like, I had a blackout last night and lost everything in my fridge. And I was like, I was gonna do this yesterday, but it was a nice day yesterday. It just, a tree fell on some cables and ruined that from happening. And I am very busy. I'll be in Chicago tomorrow, and I'm going to be very busy the rest of this summer, so I would like to try and get this in now, while I have some freedom. So we have this character over here. I won't spoil them yet. I hope the volume's alright. Let me see if I can max that out anymore. Nope, that is as high as I can make the audio. It sounds fine in my headset, but maybe raise up yours a little bit if you can't hear, just like the ambient room noise or things like that. There's a lot of ambient noise in this. The music track, funny enough, that is at the end of this game and is the title track. No, the ending track, I think, is the one that was used for the credits for PutleStory as well. Now, I did try to run this on my Windows 10 rig when I'm capturing this through, and when we get done talking to the guy who's in this room over here and go over to this ladder or try to go back down the stairs, that for some reason is the kill point of this game running on a modern system without emulation or anything, just through a CD-ROM. It seems to just die right after that. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with QuickTime, because this game, unlike PutleStory, which does not really require QuickTime to run correctly, although the aspect ratio is really weird, and you're missing a few video files in there, this game really demands you have QuickTime, which kind of limits this to older hardware these days for this. But once again, as I said with PutleStory, I think this could easily get a pretty decent, like, reconfiguration for modern systems through, like, GOG or something, if they were willing to put that up. Well, you know, go in and rearrange some of the code. I don't know. I'm not GOG. I'm not Studio Mangosteen. I don't make these decisions. I'm having to jump through so many hoops just to show this today. Right. So we have this old man here. So I don't know what he said vocally there, but that text that was shown there is the fictional language of this world, Vida La Camaya, which is the setting of both this game and the secondary game, although the secondary game takes place in, like, its own little area in the same universe with Pantos. So we don't know what he just said there. That is not a normal language. That is where we are. I'm also going to be kind of stumbling on a few parts, probably, in terms of progression. Maybe. I still remember how the whole game flows, and the script will help me because it's a lot of screenshots of the playthrough. But there may be a few moments where I just forget exactly what to interact with. Once again, that is not a normal language. We will drink the juice. Well then, now you can understand what I'm saying. It's okay, Toppy. Don't be afraid. Our visitor is a rare creature called a Putle. A Putle? You're the creature my grandpa has talked about. You look just like a picture in my animal encyclopedia. I'm Toppy. Follow me. My, who would have thought that a Putle would wander in? Yeah, so, once again, I'm not sure exactly if... I feel like some of what they're saying now, after you take a drink of the magic juice he gives you, I'm pretty sure they start speaking in Japanese, but... yeah. So, if I'm talking over it, I am sorry. There are original voice actors credited on Mangostein's website as well, so I assume that it's just in regular... like, there's no, like, weird integration of, like, other things in it kind of Japanese. So... one interesting thing on the Mangostein website... okay, so if I interact with them, they have a statement here, so... one interesting thing on the Mangostein website that I was curious about was, what is the demographic for this game? Like, because it's very... it's an immersive art game, but a lot of Westerners would view something like this, like the gameplay format, the walking around... if this were in a 3D realm, like a 3D engine or something like that, this would be a walking sim. So to someone in the mid-90s, to even up until maybe the mid-2010s even, a game like this would generally be viewed as something more for, like, the age range of 5 to 15 or something like that, maybe, putting a stretch on the 15. A lot of Westerns, especially Americans, would view this more as a game for someone who's like 5 to, I don't know, 7, 8, or something like that. But that's very much not the case from the case studies that are actually on Studio Mangostein's website. I translated those as well, and everyone who played and reviewed this game was in their mid-20s to early 40s or so. And it also seems that this game, another big question mark I had about this game was like, how many people bought these, both PutleStory and this? And once again, the website had, in his blog, Akihido's blogs, I even went into like the weird old blogs from like an old dead website he had 15, 20 years ago and such. That's how far I went into this stuff to figure out what was going on here. And it seems that he oftentimes, I'm not sure if it was his apartment or if it was a place he would rent out, but he would hold little showcases of his art, little galleries of his artwork that he made, and he would also have like a television or a monitor up playing this game or PutleStory, and he would try to sell copies of this game or PutleStory, and they were in book format. So you had a PC game in a book. It was like a hardcover book with pages of art in it. I would be fascinated to ever get my hands on one of these books, physical copies of these games, because I would be curious about the art book portion of it especially. I don't know how many pages were in it, but they seem to have a bit of the lore and explanation to a lot of the stuff in it that I was not privileged enough to get access to beforehand to make the research easier. But yeah, I would love to get a copy of one of those someday if I ever saw one. I looked through Yahoo Japan auctions, I looked through eBay, there is no recorded At least on anything that's around nowadays in their databases, there's no recorded saves or sales or anything of anything like this, so I don't know how rare these are. But yeah, he would, in his apartment or some rented place that he would keep, it would be some room. He would have a room set up with a gallery of his artwork on the walls, and he'd have a television or a monitor up letting people play these games, and you could buy a copy of it if you wanted to. That's my big question mark, is I don't know if in these were ever like really sold in stores, or if in they were, it might have been the classic artist like, hey, I've made this thing, I'll give you 10 copies of it, can you just give me a rate based off of what you've sold situation. Very, very grassroots art kind of thing. I don't know if that's the situation at all. I'm just guessing how this stuff... I'm aware now, very much through me looking through all this stuff, that this stuff was not widespread. Anyway, now that we've had that... Don't sit down. This is a big question mark as well that I would love to ask him. It's very clear from some of his dialogue, from things he's written online, that you are a foreigner in this world, and there are some of these creatures in this world that just do not like you. Through a literal... I kept this as a literal translation because I'm not sure if Toppy is saying, come sit down, or don't sit down. In a literal translation, they're saying, don't sit down. As in, like, no, you're weird. Don't sit down with me. Just kind of stand over there. Okay, I thought the game crashed for a moment. It did not. Because then their dialogue here in a second, and, like, their whole attitude, it shifts, but it's very much like an, I don't know who you are, stay away from me, don't talk to me. Those are mine, so you don't get any. Stuff like that. That's what they just said. So now we can interact with a couple things. This is roughly a 2-hour game as well. And I'm sorry if I'm being, like, very wordy about all this stuff and explaining so much instead of just letting it vibe, man. You know, just let stuff happen. This has literally been art and digital archaeology for me for the past 2 months, so there is a lot to talk about. I'll do my best to kind of let the game breathe on its own. Wow, I hear my neighbor's dogs going absolutely nuts outside, and I'm very sorry if that is coming through my microphone. Oh, they're still mowing their lawn out there, that's why. Anyway, let's take a look around in this room. You know, we got some dragonflies just in there. But yeah, this game is about 2 hours-ish. If and you go from start to finish, it's somewhere around there. So we are looking for this book, I believe, or one of these. We're gonna take a look in here. Oh my god, I didn't... Oh my god, what? I'm new to this. I don't know what's going on. I clicked on this once, the one time I played this. I didn't know there were more. Oh yeah, I don't like that. Oh, that's amazing. Ah! Oh no, yeah, pick yourself up, dude. Oh, I don't like how they shake their heads. This was an interesting thing with me. Being a fan and influenced and also of the same mind kind of things that are just a little weird like this. Okay, we can't interact anymore with it. That was it. Okay. Things that are unsettling. Things that get weird in the way of just like you're not supposed to be here and these things are very alien and you're not supposed to really fully understand what's going on. That's what first kind of drew me into PutleStory, is that I saw some of the artwork. I was like, okay, that's very interesting and different. And then I saw the kind of intent slash mind behind it, and I'm like, oh, we have a live one here. Someone who thinks differently. Just the same. Okay. Where are we at? We need to go this way. So... it didn't let me click on the books. We need to grab this book. Do I need to do something else? Did we get the dialogue for it? Okay, you're eating. If you bring me my animal encyclopedia from the next room, I'll give you a knack fruit. Yeah, okay, so that was the dialogue we needed. And now we come in my first issue of jumping PCs because I'm trying to hit the script with this mouse, which is not what we're using for that. We need this book. We need to go this way. Stop looking at me. You see, it's stuff like this. It's just like, look at the detail. Look at the detail on this close-up of Toppy. It's unsettling in a way, but it's also just like, wow, this is really amazing art, in my opinion. Oh, it's so good. So, you found the animal encyclopedia. Here, you can have this knack fruit. So, okay, so now we can eat. Wow, you really ate it. I like you. Okay, I'll take you to Ponya Forest. Alright, so we're done at the house. Oh, I love this guy. I'm a fan of dragonflies and damselflies quite a bit. So when I saw this, my first playthrough of this, I really wish I recorded my voice on it, but I wanted to soak it in for myself before I like understood anything. So I do recommend this game highly, even though it's not the easiest thing to get to. I will just say, there are ways out there to get to it, but... Yes! I love it! I love it! This way, Putle. Oh man, I love seeing freak dragonflies. That is so good. It's this way. And that's the way thing. If I feel like if and you feel like I'm too jokey or blah, 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 about any of this, that's just my personality. I take all of this very seriously, and I am loving every single moment of this in like I don't want to say in like a deeper way to be cliche, it's just because that's kind of cliche to say, but it's just like, yeah, this is one of those art games that I am going to remember for many, many years, if not the rest of my life. And if everything goes well with this playthrough, we have something a little extra lore with this game after we're done here with this, and it will still be at the end of this video, so it's not going to be like its own separate thing. We'll talk about that if we get to it. Oh, look at the little lizard. Look at him go. Ooh. Yeah. There he goes. Yeah. Just checking. Everything's still good? We're good. Okay. Okay, do we go that way? We can't go anywhere else? Oh, right, the bridge. Who are you?
Pupil.
They're a Pudel.
Lapple.
Those are the Palm Brothers. They're very good at creative writing.
Pluto.
Pluto. This upcoming windmill actually threw me for a loop while I was looking at all the other art for Akihito. And that is mainly because the windmill here completely, drastically changed its entire design in future, like, related media about this game or anything like this. It doesn't look anything like this in later media. This still looks really cool. It looks very Mobius, but yeah, it turned into something that looked a little bit more, I don't want to say Ghibli-esque, but it turned into something a little bit more traditional, but still surreal. This looks very Mobius-esque, and I like both of them. But I was like, there's something. What is this windmill? I kept coming across the image where I'm like, what is this windmill? I don't see this in anything. Like, it's in one of his animations about the upcoming characters we're going to meet here, and it's in other drawings he's done. And I'm just like, where is this windmill from? It's not in the games. Oh, it's just because it literally isn't in the games. It's something he changed way later. It's Putle. It's okay. There's nothing scary about Putle. They're Nini and Nana. So these two characters are fortune teller-esque. I'm not entirely sure to what degree, but that is their general purpose, it seems, in this story. You see, like, you need QuickTime to run something like that. Your fortune is good, Putle. I'll take you to Ponya Forest now. I'm not aware of that changing, depending on what... Like, you can't interact with the other two golden dots that they drop. I'm not sure what those are. Beads? Marbles? Spheres? I'm not sure what they dropped, but... The only one you can really interact with is that other one next to the leopardy creature. Can I help you with something, Zool? Who's that? They seem like an interesting guy. Let me borrow them. Forget it. They're none of your business. Let's hurry, Putle. Putle? I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Listen, Putle. Don't get involved with Zool. It won't lead to anything good. This is Ponya Forest. Come on, let's go. Just like, oh, Oh, this artwork, man. I love this. It's so painterly. It's so good. This here is a danger sign. If you see one, you shouldn't go any further. Well, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go forward anyway. Who reads these days, yeah? Putle, why didn't you listen to me? This is a dangerous place. I've never been here before. Goodbye. Seriously, the sounds being made. Whoa, we lost the screen. What's going on here? Okay, this is a glitch. Listen, that's a scary plant called a meru. From now on, you're going to have to listen to what I say. Come this way. Okay, yeah, we have a bit of a graphical glitch here. Okay. Yeah, that did not happen to me the first time. It seems to have fixed itself. That was funny. Mildly terrifying. Alright, so now we meet a pretty important character. Selnef. Hey, Toppy, what's up? This Putle visited my house. Putle? It's that guy behind you, right? That's right. It's a strange creature. Okay, so we look inside of here. What else do we have? Oh, I think I have to click all of them. Yeah, the interesting use of music and audio is still here from PutleStory, although PutleStory took it to an absolute insane degree as just a complete core part of the game. And the greater world that it shows in that as well. Here, it's still interestingly used in a similar manner, but not as overbearingly. Okay, can I leave this screen, or... No? Okay, there we go. Selnef plays music and fishes from mule stones. I don't know what mule stones is. This is one of those weird translation things. Ah, a catch. Like, look at this art. It's so good. Isn't this stone... Toppy, I have a favor to ask of you. What is it? Can you please deliver this to Elder Doral? Yeah, okay. This is a sound cutting bug. I'm counting on you.
何
Yeah.
キュート
Let's go, Putle. This Doral we're going to visit is the Elder of Ponya Forest.
ナモ
Come this way. Oh no, it's an ambush! Oh god,
ヘブニー
these guys.
そうな帰ら
Give
せ
us some Latora fruit if you want to go down this path.
みんな
I don't have any. It's not time to harvest them yet.
食いのわとくわ
Who's that guy behind you? Does he have any? This is a Putle. There's no way they have one.
ラジ
Well, you can't go this way then.
タイムスー ゆう
Oh, it's Dawn.
なぜわとろく
Well then, that means you're Jan and Marnie.
ドン
Dawn, you've exposed us.
ね
You idiot. Sorry.
ほり
I thought so. This is Jan and
ス
Marnie.
ーと
Well, are you gonna go harvest the Latora fruit now? Are you going to join?
ゆ
Huh? But they shouldn't be ready yet.
どりやれん
Well, they're ready now. Are you sure? Wait. But I'm helping Selnef. I've been asked to run an errand.
そうのに
Just let them do it. Yeah, you can run the errand. That's right. That's right. Let them do it.
食うのら
Shut up, you bastard. Sorry. Hey, Putle. Please take this to Elder Doral's house.
なのヘッチ
I have no idea what they just said then. That was not in my script. Which is funny because they actually skipped a line of dialogue.
のキュート
Listen, Putle.
これグー
Doral's house is an island on the lake. There's a boatman. He'll take you there.
くのキュート
Well, I'm trusting you. Yeah, so few translation notes there. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Doral or Dolar. I'm pretty sure it's Doral. And they also did skip a line of dialogue. I'm assuming it's because I did not click on Jan. She is the one in the front of the group. She is the boss of their little group. And yeah, it was quite surprising to me to see the translation come up with the word bastard in this. But once again, I'm just like, the demographic for this is not kids from everything I've seen, even though in the West, a game like this very much would be. This is for you as an adult to get immersed and lost in the beauty of this little, well, not little, this is actually quite expansive from everything I've researched, from this place. They're watching us from the trees. I don't like it. We don't know where we are. We don't know where we are. We're lost in the woods and we're around nature. Ah, I can't breathe out here. Okay, enough of me having a go. So we have been given a quest, a mighty quest, by Toppy, and we must complete it. And that is more or less the rest of the game, is getting to the Elder. I'm trying to remember which way is which. Okay, that just goes back to the sign again. What does this way lead to? This is where things are going to get kind of futzy because I don't have the paths in the forest memorized. I know roughly where we're going. Okay, no, this is the wrong way. At least for... I'm trying to also kind of just... Because I'm trying to go with what I have as a script. Okay, no, no, no. Go that way. We go forward. This is also a little clunky with its directional use by modern standards. Okay, this is good. I think. I'm not sure. Nice grasshoppers. What is this? Once again, we're jumping a little ahead here. They give you an amount of freedom in doing this and exploring this area once you've been let go by Toppy. Okay, we don't want to be here yet either. We need to go back. So we need to take the other path. Okay, that's good at least for me to catch up in memory of, okay, that path goes down to that area and they lead to these places. This is roughly where we need to be, yeah. So we'll take a look at the tree stump. There are these markers here. And I think we want to go over this way. No? Where does this go? Oh, once again, this is not the right way. There is a way. And we will find it. I think it's to the left. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this way. No, it's not. Point-and-click adventure games. Is it this way? This is the only other direction we've not gone. Okay, here we go, here we go. This is it. the last path is the one we needed. But I just like the detail here, too. Like, you can... If it'll let me. Oh, no, it doesn't want me to. Where's the mouse? Okay, the mouse is kind of glitching out a little bit, so we're just going to go up to the house. I think there's a weird layer priority issue there, actually, from what I just saw, because it was kind of going underneath a few things. Huh. Regardless, we're where we're supposed to be now. Welcome. Hey, you're not from around here. Are you looking for something? I don't know where you come from, but just so you know, all the items we sell are valuable. Please look at them carefully. That's a doll from The Legend of Putle. Yeah, that was a funny one to find while I was working through this game. Right, so now we have to look up here. That is a magical device that I got from a man named Mao, but it can't be used without his magic. Hey, what are you doing? Stop that now. I'm telling you to stop. It will keep making masks. Stop it now, you delinquent. I love the tone of her voice getting so like, I'm gonna kill you. Alright, turn it off. Oh, that's so good. That's a replicating device called Gajara. What it multiplies goes away after some time. Please don't touch any more items in the store without permission. Right. We are the public nuisance here. Oh boy. The color palette on the bird looks weird. Okay, it fixed itself. Do you wish to go down this road? Sorry, but this gate won't open until the time comes. Time is measured by that Mugu bird there. Well, I guess we'll have to wait a little longer. And we never see him again. I love this thing so much. I love this thing. Yeah! Oh, it's so weird, I love him. Yeah! Oh, it's so wonderful. It's so wonderfully weird. I'll take 10. Right. So we can't get past this gate until this little guy lets us through. Do you need something? Wow, you're a rare creature. I am Mao. Over there is my house. I'm in a good mood today. The Latora fruits are ripening early, and I came across this Guyana mushroom. This is a special day. Let me invite you into my house. Please, come in. Yeah, it's interesting, like, structure in, like, house-wise or anything. Some of the streetlights are the same, the signage is the same on the paths, the, like, forest town layout is kind of similar to Panto's story. I think this is one of two of the only buildings that is very similar to what you see in Panto's story. The other one we'll see at the end of the game, but... yeah. Hey, don't touch those mushrooms. So, you are a Putle after all. There's an old legend that a Putle is a sign of disaster. I don't know what people would say if they found out I invited one over to my house. I'm not sure what I can interact with here, actually. Oh, his book. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you are such a foreign entity in this world that you're like... They have, like, biology books of you like you're an extinct or mythical creature. It's fascinating. And they also don't entirely like you. Like, look at this stuff. We'll see this soon. And I want you to remember this thing and think of this. Because this is important to the plot of this game, and it's never really spoken of. It's just something passively happening in the background of your little adventure here. Like, yeah. I must now use this Guiana mushroom to create an antidote to cure the sleeping sickness that has broken out in Ponya Forest. I must begin this, so go home, and never come back here again. Got it? So he essentially just teleported. He kind of threw this thing at us, I assume, and we just teleported outside or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he politely gave it to us, and we just had that happen anyway. So this way should lead this way. I think this is the right... Nope, once again, we're going here too early. Okay, because this is a danger sign. No, it's not a danger sign entirely. Yeah, this should be the right path. Yes, it is. Here we go. So remember what what we just saw in that book. First off, these plants are really cool looking. But then there's this. And there's this.
Who's waking me up? It's not time for the flowers to bloom yet.
What's interesting is that the game automatically has you kind of like run back away from it. But we can walk up and try it again.
What? It's you again. Don't disturb my sleep.
And that time we book it. We book it back into the woods. Going back out there and trying again will not change anything. So that's the amount of dialogue you get for that. Still, what we saw in the book there, I can break it down into that, to my knowledge, is what sleep sickness is doing. There is this weird pandemic going on in the forest here of sleep sickness, and it's making everybody sleepy. That is kind of growing out of people in the due course of the sickness. It's like creating this monster in that vessel above them. And I assume it would grow into that monster that we saw in the book on the right page. So now we can go over here and have a fun day with these two guys. Now, let me take on any of them. Well then, I'll go with this one. Bug fight, bug fight, bug fight. And he's got a grip on the left, and he's pulling him in for a reach around. Crushed. It's strong. I don't think I can win. Of course it's strong. I just picked it up in town this morning. Hey, I've been watching you. Do you want to give it a try? Come on, are you really going to let this stranger in on the game? What, do you have a problem with that? Please, take a seat. You're an amateur. There's no way you can beat me. So, I'm trying to remember which... You can choose any of these. I believe these two lose? Question mark? I'm pretty sure the wasp is the one to go with. Yeah, right away. Nice. just disintegrates. You'd hate to be stung by that. Well, I lost. That was quite a surprise. I can't believe a creature like you defeated Alf. It was just a fluke. You see, it's things like that. It's like the text happens so fast sometimes. I'm going home. I'm sorry, Alf. I'd like to invite you into my house. Nice house you have here, man. There's someone speaking there, but I can't... it's probably going to be in Japanese, but I can't understand what they're even saying. Like, it's so faintly quiet and mixed in with the background ambience. It's small things like that that are going to be lost to me in terms of, like, what is the meaning of this. Please come here. As you might have noticed, writing poetry is my profession. I would like to give you this poem. Give a drop of hope to the sailor drowning in the lake. Soon a prayer-like sound will echo upon the surface of the water. Ah, it seemed that someone had fallen into a deep sleep again. It was Mulroy. I don't know if that name was translated. I don't know if like I got well with that translation for that name, Mulroy. Mulroy. I'm not sure. Also, once again, just like you get kind of comfortable in this place. You think. Especially while you're playing through it just on your own, you think like, oh, this is pretty fun. It's almost like being in, not in like a theme park, but, you know, just kind of like a kid again. Just like, oh, you don't know, like everything is safe. You don't know what's going on exactly, but, you know, everything will work out fine. And then you, like, touch one of these guys. Oh, they hate you. They hate your guts. So it's like not everything is safe here, just even on its own. And as I said at the beginning of this, my outward personality, and let alone my excitement of showing this off and talking about it, and narrating as best as I can with what I had translated. When you're playing this just on your own, it's much more resonant. So if you kind of want to just like I'm considering whether or not if I want to play through this game again just with no voicing, well, like no context, no narration, no nothing. Just play through the game raw with no mic, no translating, and put that up as maybe a link in the description to an unlisted video, just so you can also have the raw take of this game. I'm very much debating that. If it's down below, then you can click that, and if it's not there, then I'd pretty much just have not had the time to do that. So now, aside from that, we are going to move on. Okay, this is the way we don't want to go. So that's an idea I'm throwing around right now as I'm talking here. Okay, this is also not the right way to go. Let's go this way. Pretty sure this is the way. Yes, it is. So we have another danger sign here, and the forest lets out into a desert. So the Putle, the human, gives this creature... Oh man, I didn't know that there were branching paths like this. I haven't seen all these. So we have this box, which the Putle then gives to them. There's some sort of celestial event happening. These two... I already know the lore here, so I'm just like trying not to spoil. They have a discussion, and... Okay, so we have a Latora fruit. With these two characters, a celestial event happens, a human arrives with a box as an offering to them. You should not be here. Did you not see the danger sign? There's no place for a stranger like you here. Leave this place now! Okay. You know, I'm not sure what would happen if I went back up there. If something happens, I don't have it translated, so I don't know... I don't know what'll happen. Let's go back. Oh, they're back! Oh, I don't know what's going on here. I can try translating live with Google Lens. I did that years ago with Animal Crossing. Is it the same? How many times do I have to tell you, do not come to this sacred place? Okay, yeah, so that translated live right there, but yeah, that's not in my script. I never went back to try and do that again. I'm just gonna leave. That was neat. Okay, so we need to go this way now. We need to go towards this big arrowhead-shaped tree. I didn't realize this while I was playing through the game initially. I only realized this while I was translating. But this is actually the tree from the opening logo cutscene. I didn't recognize it in the sunlight. Oh, such beauty. Look at the size of this thing.
Hey, you're the one who was with Toppy earlier. Weren't you going to the Elder's house? Jan! Toppy!
Isn't that the Putle thing from earlier? What happened? Didn't you go to the Elder's house? What's wrong, Putle? This isn't the Elder's house. This guy's gotten lost. Yeah, this is a problem. Though they are a Putle, and they are new to the forest. Hey! Bring me down! Dawn, bring her down. Okay. Toppy just standing there judging us, not having gone to the Elder's house. For shame. Which one of you said the fruit was ripe? They're all still green and sour. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Ew, don't bring me along so early next time, then. Hey, Jan, let's take Putle up in the basket. What's the point of doing that? I have an idea. They look at us. Putle, get in the basket. Come on, get in. All right. All right, Dawn, you can give that to me. All right, Putle, you can come out. Nice view. Look, the Elder's house is just over that hill. You got that, Putle? Yeah, so this is the whole view of it. This is Vita Lacamaya. There's where we just were. There's a whole lot of nothing out after that. Oof. Can we look further? I don't think we can. No. Look down? Nope. Look up? Nope. Up. Down. That would be going back down. Yeah, so we gotta go out that way. Well then, get going. It's the Mugu bird. There he goes. Right. So, we need to go... Let me take a look at the stump again. This leads back to the shop. That's there. That leads to the desert. We gotta go forward. Okay, we're here by the shop again. We need to go up onto this hill on Strawberry Lane. This is now open. There's the boatman. He is dead. Please help my dad. He's caught sleeping sickness. Dad, wake up. Please help my dad. I've heard that guiana mushrooms are a cure. I haven't been able to find any, though. And we never came back. I actually just remembered one other, like, setback to recording and, like, working on this as a YouTube thing. I was sick last week, quite annoyingly, very throaty and nasally. So I was like, oh, I can't record anything because I was sick. So that put me back like a week. We have Zul here. Putle. I'm busy right now and don't have time to deal with you. See you later. Okay, they just came from the direction of Mao's house. I wonder what's up with that. Putle. What in the world have you come back for? Look what has happened! Someone has stolen the precious guiana mushroom. This is your fault. I let you into my home. You're a curse! Get out now! Albeit, it seems that the voice actor for Mao said that in a much more kind of sultry, slow way. You see, it's things like that, even in terms of just like acting. It's a different performance. Alright, so we're done with that. So someone has stolen the guiana mushroom from Mao. Ooh, there's some weird kind of artifacting going on here with the graphics. This is not normal. You see, it's a little bit of stank like that that is not harmful to the game itself, really. That sometimes just kind of bleeds through a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's just a natural thing with the game, or if it's something just to do with like the hardware I'm running it on, or what. Because I could tell you, there have been a few graphical glitch things that have not happened in this so far that happened to me the first time I played. So far, it's been pretty clean. This has been a pretty clean playthrough. Just look at this mess. I closed the shop for a bit and came back to find this. My precious Gajra has been stolen. Who in the world would do this? Wait, that's right. The Gajra had a transmitter egg from the Gajra had transmitter eggs from that magical device attached to it. With those, we can find the culprit's location. This is the weirdest compass I have ever seen. Judging from this direction, it looks like they're headed towards the desert. I wish I could use magic at a time like this. Wait, I sense Mao's magic. You have some of Mao's magic, don't you? Quickly, get it out. This will help us catch the culprit. I like how we just swipe this while we were in there, I guess, with Mao. Please, use this magic to get back the Gajra. So now we put it in that device that we saw earlier. And it is a teleporter of sorts. Right. Now, you could not get more Mobius than this in terms of a visual scene. Oh, these guys look so awesome. The fish things that they're riding remind me of the vehicles from Atlantis: The Lost Empire, which, funny enough, was, like, what, 7, 8 years after this game came out? So, Disney, you stole their idea. Did you think you could fool us with these fakes? I guess the people of the forest can't be trusted after all. You there. Tell this brat never to show themselves to us again. Okay, you're gonna wake up? Okay, there we go. Failure, failure. For the desert folk, the Guyana mushroom is a once-in-a-lifetime thing to see. I thought I could fool him easily. Well, in any case, with this, I can still make some money. This is my precious. My precious! By the way, who are you here for? Do you want this? There's no way you're getting it. Now, time to hide it somewhere... Yeah, so Zool here was trying to make copies of the mushroom and get rich. I'll hide it over here. Listen, don't tell anyone. What? I feel so good right now. I'm getting very sleepy. Good night. Have fun being a giant flower monster thing when it kills you. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's a happy ending. Well now, you got the Gajara back. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. So now we're back at Mao's. You again. How many times do I have to tell you? Wait. What's that in your hand? That is a Guyana mushroom. Did you get it back for me? Now I can make the antidote. I need to start mixing right away. Honestly, I forgot that I have I've been playing this through OBS, like the capture for it. I'm looking over at my TV and I'm like, oh man, that's a big, nice version of it off to my left right now. Like, it has to funnel through my television for it to be captured correctly for OBS. I just forgot that it was on my TV. It's finished. This will cure sleeping sickness. Putle, thanks to you, I was able to make the antidote. I'll give some to you. It may be of some use. I do like the weird kind of ambient hum that comes from this area. It's coming from his house. It's like... right there. It's just weird kind of electronic buzzing hum. Even though the structure itself looks biological in some way, from the inside we could clearly see that it's very much not. So we have the antidote to the sickness. Mao's now gonna go around curing people, because he has his antidotes. Did you find any mushrooms? Is that an antidote? Thank you! Dad, wake up! Oh, there's the sickness! It's flying away. That's how it works. No, but it's cool. It's really neat. That is kind of funny. Dad, that guy helped me. Thank you very much. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to wake up. The fact that you've come here to Funaba tells me that you have business with Elder Doral. Please get on board, and we'll show you around. Well, let's get going. That is the Elder's house. Yeah, his house looks very much like something from PutleStory. This strange, stalk-like, fungal structure. And, you know, it just has a giant wavy staircase going up to it. Very, very structurally sound, I'm sure. We're here. Who are you? I was having such a nice dream. I'm trying to rest, so come back later. We're having a party, old man. Wake up! Hey, stop that racket. Magic. All the old people in this world really have to smonk, right? Hey, you're a Putle. This is my second time meeting a Putle. What are we listening to? Delicate Steve? Delicate Steve? I like it. Putle are lousy. They are cruel, cowardly, restless, and only think for themselves. I assume you're no different. The playback device is responding. I see. You've brought a sound-cutting bug. Yeah, I find this whole biotechnology aspect very interesting. This is Selneth. The lake spirits seem to be more agitated than normal. One of the strings on my lute has broken as a result. I need a replacement string before sundown. Give the string to the messenger. Dear Elder, from Selneth. So that's why you're here. I never expected someone like you to come here with a message from Selneth. Could you please deliver this to Selneth? Putle. It must have been difficult to get here. You might be a good person. Let me show you something interesting. Putle, look into this here. Lore dump, if it will make any sense. This is big exposition. Vita Lacamaya was once a Latora fruit that was floated on a milk ocean by the gods long before the flow of time. Soon after, a child named Granioli and a child named Zophie were born from the fruit. The sun was golden and shining with abundant light, the forest grew many flowers and plants, and the two lived happily there. One day, Zophie heard the sound of a wind coming from far away from the forest. It was a sad voice he had never heard before. Curiosity got the better of Zophie, and he traveled down the faraway Silver Road. The voice on the wind came from a small cave by the sea. There, crouched, was a smooth creature that looked like a wax doll. Zophie gradually became friends with the creature and decided to name it Putle. One day, Putle gave Zophie a glowing blue box. You must never open this box. It contains the souls of the beings from where I was born. Then, one day, Zophie got into an argument with Granioli over a trivial matter. It was the first time such a thing had happened. I wonder if this box is causing something bad, he thought. Zophie decided to get rid of the box and threw it into the sparkling sea. After a while, the sea began to shine pale, and a blue shimmering round thing rose from the horizon, eventually covering the golden sun. The world turned pale, and everything was divided into light and shadow. The flowers that had bloomed beautifully now grew thorns, and the creatures grew fangs and sharp claws. Above all, it turned half the ocean into a desert. The silver sands now burnt brown. Whew. Yeah, that's a bit of a lore dump there, I'd say. Ooh. Ooh. So good. Anyway, so that is the lore dump from the stone tablet from earlier that we saw in the desert. That explains the desert situation. That explains why the creatures of this world do not trust a human, which they call Putle. I did a little bit of some vernacular research roughly into why are we called Putle in this PutleStory, quote-unquote human story, if you want to be transliterative of what we are being called in this world. The best answer I have for Putle is that the word Putle, it seems to be some sort of old European word meaning doll, which correlates then with what the elders said about the Zophie child finding us and essentially thinking, oh, they're like a wax doll. I'm going to call them Putle. That's the only correlation I could figure out or find about why that word is used here. Is that it's some sort of old European word for doll, or like it roughly means like doll or mannequin thing, something around those lines. So that is my best understanding of that. Have you finished your business yet? Well then, shall we go? Yeah, there have actually been far less, like, visual glitches in this playthrough than there was in my initial one. A lot of them tended to be, like, with their eyes. Like, there would be, like, a corruption with, like, their blinking asset in the layering for their artwork here. There's, like, a layer of them blinking, and then there's a layer of them with their eyes open, and there'd always be, like, some sort of, like, weird corruption thing with that, but that doesn't seem to be an issue here for some reason now. I don't know. The disk drive, I guess, is just playing nice today. Unlike all the other tech issues we had before we started. See you soon. Bye. Goodbye. And we're back to the lake with Selneth. How's it going, man?
What do you
Hey, you're that Putle.
know?
Do you need something? I brought you your Amazon delivery.
Tell Sashi,
This is string for the lute.
ni sognon.
You've brought this from the Elder?
The wild new taxi.
Now I'll be able to play again.
MOC.
Thank you. Selneth! Hey, it's Putle. It is Putle. Well then, seems you went to the Elder's house. Good job, Putle. Nice work. Tomorrow, I'll take you on a desert adventure.
Q nanomoon.
Alright, guys, it's about time.
Nora can.
Shall we go? And that is the script. Cue Maestro Selneth. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird having spent 2 months on this and so many days on that script to try and, like, figure it out and write it into a normalized English way, and yeah. It's kind of surreal just seeing the end of the game here like this. And yes, this is the end of the game. We get a wonderful concert with all the friends we've met along the way. Oh, the kangaroo guy does come back! I didn't notice that. Those dragonflies, man. And then we get the ending music. Akihiro Izuhara. Wonderful. Wonderful work. And Ikiku Mizukami. Her name's either misspelled there in the credits or on his website. I'm not sure which one. But it is Ikiku. They just his website uses K's instead of C's, so I don't know. Yeah, that is PutleStory. And there is one massive question I still have from the whole translation, the whole scope of this whole thing. So, first off, I'm pretty sure the game's going to kick us out of the game and back to Windows after it wraps the credits, the same way it does with PutleStory. But yeah, if and so, I'm gonna hold off on my thoughts and just reload the game after, so I can talk about a few final thoughts. Alright, so some post-credits thoughts, things, everything in betweens. So, yeah, that last bit of dialogue from Toppy has left me with a lot of questions. A lot of questions about what is the purpose of this game, in like the sense of, was this supposed to be one game? And then later on they just chose to make PutleStory as its own separate concept idea within this world, because that last statement from Toppy, next time I'll take you on a desert adventure, that tells me very quite literally, and I spent like an afternoon trying to research things around anything that I could find online in like weird web archives, on the Mangosteen website, there are Akihido's other like things. I've watched and transliterated some interviews he's given about some of his other works. I've looked for a lot of things to try and figure out, was this supposed to be 2 games or more for this? I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just like a weird transliteration, localization / translating issue with understanding what Toppy meant there, or if it's a literal thing, which is what I left there, because I couldn't figure out how to like make that contextually cohesive with anything else that was in the game, really, because it's such an abrupt thing. It's literally a character telling you, all right, tomorrow we're gonna continue this story, and that doesn't happen, to my knowledge, ever, really, even across the rest of the things that Izuhara has, like, put out with his own, like, art and stuff around this world. A lot of his extra artwork that he's made in the years since, and animations, tend to just be about this game. PutleStory has some artwork on, like, his website and other things that I've found, but most of it tends to be around PutleStory and these specific characters like Zool, Jan, Toppy, Selnef, Mao, characters like that. There are a few I could find a few pieces of PutleStory that he made around like the late 2000s, early 2010s, something like that. But he doesn't seem to, at least from what I've seen, I don't doubt that there's just tons of folders and folders and folders of artwork that he just hasn't put on his website or other things. I don't know the guy, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying what I could find. I could not find an answer for what that last thing that Toppy just said, tomorrow I'll take you on a desert adventure. I don't know if it was planned that there would be like a sequel to this. This game's not that long. It's 2 hours, roughly. And that's if you know what you're doing, like what we did here, aside from kind of futzing around in the woods a little bit towards the beginning. But we got used to that. We got our grips with where everything was pretty quick. But, yeah. It's just that one sentence still throws me off. Just like, was there supposed to be more? Was there supposed to be a direct sequel to this? I don't know. I really don't know. And probably will never know. But, yeah, so that has been PutleStory. Now, we're not done today, because if you'll notice the length of this video, there is still more. That is the end of the 1996 PutleStory game. Wonderful experience. I love this. I love PutleStory as well. Which one do I like more? I don't know. I like them both about as much. I like Pantos as a character more because he's a character, and in this, you're just a guy. But yeah, it's supposed to be you who's in this game. In PutleStory, it's you are Pantos, but he is also his own character. So yeah, I think it's time to kind of talk about what we're doing next. So we're not done here. Next, we're doing something that is a little bit of time travel. So in the mid-2000s to, I don't know exactly when this stopped being updated, but during the mid-2000s, I'm not sure entirely why, but Izuhara decided to remake this game and story, PutleStory, for Flash, as weird as that is to say. So it's a Flash animation storybook of this game being retold. I have not read through it verbatim from the beginning to end. I have skipped around in throughout it to try and help myself with a few of the English translations with, like, the names specifically of some of these characters, like Zool. I could not for the life of me figure out how to translate their name here. In this game, at least. And there were a few translations, like Dawn, I don't think Dawn, Mao and Zool were, like, the big ones that I found in that Flash storybook that were already translated for me, because for some reason, this Flash storybook is already pre-translated into English. The problem with that, if you know anything about the internet, though, these days, is that Flash is dead. So we have to go back in time, as Huey Lewis would say, and go back to the magical year that everyone wants to forget, of 2020. Because that is one of the last years that has a record of this operating as a functional storybook. And I would like to show it and read it to you as a post-game thing. This is also going to be a treat for me because I'm not fully aware of the contents of this book. So I'm going to be reading through this and also being like, oh, that's different than what's in the game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good old show and tell time. So let me move over to that and stop using the mouse for this other computer and put this other computer back into storage and let it rest because, oh, it's a cranky thing. So, thank you for watching. Let me wrap up at least this. Thank you for watching the PutleStory PC game. We're transitioning now over to the PutleStory Flash Storybook, which has also been lost to time in some sort of way because it's not on the internet anymore, really. Alright, so, welcome, if you have stuck around a little bit, to the PutleStory Flash Storybook. This button right here is magical because, whoa, everything's translated already. Oh, and I don't have to translate this whole book either. Thank you. Thank you, whoever has translated this, or if it's some sort of automated text thing from the 2000s. I don't care. I just... Thank you so much. Thank you for saving me from another couple weeks. Prologue. As far as I could remember, there was no entrance to this place. It was as if that feeling of distortion, that sweet aesthesia you get when you try to embrace the world around you, suddenly came over. I have never intended to wander into this place. I was just in a hurry on my way home. In fact, it was like how you can never sense the flick of the moment when you fall asleep. Chapter 1. The Sound of Wind. Scent of the breeze. You can already tell this is drastically different than the wake up in the middle of a field start that PutleStory on CD has. Like, we get to see our character. There's the house. It was not until I stood in front of the door that I realized everything was slightly different from before. And this isn't like, I do want to clarify, this isn't like some sort of like secondary or like, this is not like another human or whatever doing the PutleStory thing. This, to my knowledge from everything I've looked up and read, this is just a retelling of the game. This is straight up just a retelling of it. So there's some things that have been changed, there's some stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's missing to my knowledge from this. But it's a way to kind of preserve the story. Ironically, at the time, it was a way to preserve the story off of CD-ROM when your Windows 95 or 2000 computer was outdated and people weren't using them anymore and you couldn't play the game anymore. This was made to kind of, I guess, stopgap that for a period of time, but once again, now this is also not available to normally peruse because Flash is dead now. So it's just like, one format from technology. The other one's just like, bad luck. Bad luck on that. Hello, is anybody here? With his dark, deep eyes like the immaculate marbles, he quietly gazed at me and uttered something, but the words were simply incomprehensible. Yeah, their fictional language, their own language. That is Toppy. And if they're like his dark, deep eyes, like the immaculate marbles, that's like a weird line in English. I'm not gonna try and like transliterate or localize any of this stuff here. I'm just gonna read it straight, and if it's weird, man. That's just how it goes. I was at a loss to this geeky creature. Like, it's stuff like that. It's like, what do you mean geeky? Somewhat radish, and definitely not a human being. Invited me upstairs, and into the room at the very end of the corridor, there sat an old folk. An old folk. Once again, it's just like in English, that's not right. There sat an old man with various pots of mysterious concoctions. He chose a bowl and handed it over to me. What can this be? Surprisingly, soon after I took a sip from the bowl, I came to understand their language. So casual, yeah. His name was Toppy. He showed me an old book. Yeah, this is very SparkNotesy. The artwork here, this is all Akihito's artwork. This is beautiful. I love this stuff so much. Putle, aren't you a Putle? Oh no, there's a penis there. We can't show that. Come, follow me. Sound of the wind, scent of the breeze. I love how we know what this dragonfly is. Oh, I love it's also in the exact pose. It's in the exact pose that it shows in the game and on the title screen. Like, he redrew this. That's great. The place still seemed unknown to me, but it felt less monochroic than a moment ago. You see, this is what I meant by the windmill changing. It changed into something a little bit more Ghibli-esque, in my opinion. This is how I started my adventure in this unique world. Chapter 2. Like, look at this. This is amazing looking, but this also looks like something out of Ghibli or, like Squaresoft. Something you might see in Chrono Trigger. Or Secret of Mana. An airy tower appeared ahead of us. Again, there stood another pair of peculiar creatures in the dusky room. I hear them whispering about me. Look at his hat. He has no sense of fashion. Look how dirty his shoes are. Suddenly, they started to perform a certain ritual in their certain manner. Once again, now the whole constellation, celestial kind of aspect of this has been dramatically changed to be some sort of pot with statues or vignettes. I don't know what these are supposed to be, if they're like 3D, like physical 3-dimensional, spiritual, or what. Because there's also the light spheres in here as well. It was as if they were asking the guardian deities if I was worthy of a kind to intrude into this land. Am I worthy? The deity gave a slight nod. I stepped outside, and onward lay a never-ending path leading into the depths of shade. The forest breathtatingly, it's one word for some reason, breathtakingly beautiful. Is breathtakingly one word? I don't believe it is. Okay, I'll reread that because it goes into the next one. The forest, breathtakingly beautiful, have softly inhaled me into herself. Another encounter. Cue the Yakuza enemy fight scene intro. And another whispering. With every new encounter, I get this same cold scrutiny. Hey, let me have him for this one. He walked towards me with a smug grin. Well, you might be useless. I might as well make you a slave for this beastie. Me, a slave of a bug? I was baffled, as just a tiny beast cried, "Eeeeee!" and flew away. Yeah, this is not this is not great English. Whatever's trying to be written here, I'm getting it, but it's very half. It's also a little weird because there's a lot of intellectual quote-unquote words in here that try to create some depth with the story itself, which is there is absolutely depth to this, but it's also just making it more awkward to try and say the dialogue. We kept on walking and suddenly hit a diverging path. While fussing over which to choose, we heard a voice from the foot of the guidepost. It had a body of a plant and the head of a dog. It was a talking creature. Toppy asked where he could find his friend named Selneth. Like, I don't believe these are the things being created from the sleep sickness. These are just like a new entity, and they look awesome. All this art is just so good. Also, this audio is very, very good and appropriate for this. It's just some very quality ambience. We took the left path as advised, and soon the view opened up and showed a lake. Irregular spectrum of Persian blue and emerald green seemed to have it's stuff like that. It's like that is not how you start a sentence in English. Irregular spectrum of Persian blue and emerald green seemed to wave back and forth on the surface of the lake. It's like you have to verbalize your writing. You have to make it sound like you're speaking or being spoken to. Because irregular spectrum of Persian blue is an amazingly stark and abrupt way to start a sentence. Like, once again, it's like, I get what it's trying to say. It's trying to say that the lake is very blue and the emerald green of the forest are very contrasting, but it's like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. I've been doing this for 2 months. It's just like, you read stuff like that and you're like, nah, that's not how you would say that in English. But indeed, it was extremely quiet and still. It might have been a simple reflection of some sort. Beyond the huge lake covered a deep mist, and the vast forest seemed to spread further into the dark. See, the end of that didn't read too bad. We came across a curious creature. He was throwing a rock-like object into the lake. He took a brief glance at me and gave a simple greeting to Toppy. Toppy called him Selnef, so Selnef is not talking in this, it seems. He had the most beautiful, deep green eyes, which never intended to reflect my visual, and it made me feel like an inferior. Then he suddenly put his hands out to me. From each of his fingers appeared the transparent rocks, each glowing in different colors. And inside lay a coiling snake. Chapter 4. Oh, we're about halfway through. See what I mean by everything's just cut down dramatically in this. So much stuff is missing. It's a good way to get... If you know the story and you want to get a gist of it, it's fine. But this is very, very quick. Soon we came to the deep green swamp, where a nest-like object floating on it, with a nest-like object floating on it. Okay. We followed along the stone pavement and reached the entrance. Toppy said, "This is Mao. Come in." Like that. This is Mao. What is the seed pod Mao? Mao looked just like an amphibian from the swamp, yet he was very calm and collected to be a real wild creature. Toppy said something to Mao, but his lips showed the smallest shiver and could not hear his words. So Mao doesn't speak to us, okay? Move on. We're done with Mao. Come on, we gotta rush this story up. We gotta move on from Mao. Mao taught us the designated path, and off we went again into the forest. What are they doing? Playing chess? On the table, a pair of insects were fighting a battle. And underneath the table lay a creepy scene. He noticed me and suddenly started to utter the mantra. What? Wait. Which one is this? Oh, the poet. Okay, yeah, this is new. This is not... Okay. Like, there's some weird magic-ish, mystical stuff that happens with the poem he gives us, but this he's just, like, conjuring a curse at us or something. What is he doing? Utter the mantra. We're not... Okay, so I guess we're not doing the... We're not participating in the bug fight. On the top of the hill lay a stone table. Eventually, the sound of the gear wheel started to clatter and snaked around the area. And beyond the clatter, I heard someone paddling the boat. I drifted into a dead slumber. Ooh, showing us here dying of the sleep sickness. And Toppy, like, poking us with a stick or something? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Toppy, here he is at last. Jan, that was a close one. Marnie, such a difficult guy. He is no good. Here, taste this instead. Okay, so what I'm getting out of this is that we, for some reason, like, I don't get this. Like, it's showing the writer-poet guy, like, trying to give us information about where to go to next with the boatman and stuff, but then it immediately cuts to us being affected by the sleep sickness and dying of it, to Jan, Toppy, and Marnie trying to, like, help us by telling the weird creature that gets born from the sleep sickness that we're not tasty? Okay. This building looks right out of Panto's story. We parted with Jan and Marnie and went further into the woods. Soon we hit the giant fungus. That's the crazy part, is that if you're looking at this and you have no idea about the other game or any of the characters, any of the context, this is going to be, like, all over the place. This is all over the place to me, and I know the story. The fungus was filled with objects unlike anything I had ever seen. The place, I would say, was disturbingly chaotic and disturbingly neat. Welcome, Toppy. Look who you have with you today. I'm guessing this is supposed to be the shopkeep? it's not like a regular store anymore, like a stone building. Now it's this. Okay. So this is the store. This person looks entirely different. The only reason I assume that it's a similar or the same character, quote-unquote, is because they seem to have earrings in the same ear here. Like, you can barely make that out in this resolution, but there seems to be an earring on their left ear, like the lady did. Your company looks just like this Putle dolly. We use this like this. Once the store master touched the so-called dolly, it broke open into two with the piercing screech. Okay, yeah, just like freak out stuff. Okay. What's even weirder is that, like, you could see, like, another creature or person or thing in here, kind of. There's, like, a nose, eye, head. It looks like it's almost in, like, a thinking man kind of squatting position or something. Alright, anyway, chapter 6. We kept on walking and found a small hill. On top of the hill lay a stone table. Looks like a map. A celestial map? What is this? You shall not step in here. Suddenly a deep voice howled behind us and made us realize that this place was of great sanctity. We left the place. Toppy pointed to the sky and said, Mugu! The bird is swirling. Swinging. The bird guided us to the waterfront, a hovering boat. Gondolier head with gondolier with the head of a fish. We got on the boat, and again the bird led us to the giant cocoon. Chapter 7. Okay, so it is Doral. Doral is waiting for you. I walked up the long staircase, a small door, guiding us into the room. A giant wheel grates slowly with a periodical beat. Suddenly gave me a sense of déjà vu. Have I dreamed of this before? A small old creature sat faintly under the wheel, and above him flew the bird in circles. You are the Doral. He nodded slightly and handed me a nut seed. I looked through the crack of the nut and saw two creatures crouching. One looked like a man, and another was a creature never before seen. Doral, who had long waited for my visit, stared at me with an indefinable look. His eyes were as deep, as silent as the swamp of the shadowy forest. It is now my turn to find out what he meant, without knowing if this is the start of the end of this world. Without knowing if this is the start or the end of this world. And that's it. That is the Flash storybook version of PutleStory. I don't entirely know what to make of it, because it is, in itself, very chaotic, all over the place, changes quite a lot, just a little bit, just changes just a little, it changes everything, and, yeah, it's a thing that at one point existed that doesn't actively on the internet anymore exist, so that's where I think I'm going to end it today with PutleStory. So thank you for watching, thank you for joining me on this adventure into whatever all of this art and world is. I would like to thank Akihiro Izuhara and Ikuku Mizukami. See, like, her name was misspelled in the credits for the game, it seems. They put C's instead of K's. But yeah, I just want to flat out say, I love all this art. I love this world that's been made. It's fantastic. In my highest art sensibility, I will say, fantastic. It is fantastic. And yeah, I hope he keeps working on it. I enjoy the animations he's put up. There are some, if you look up Studio Mangosteen on Vimeo, for some reason they're on Vimeo mostly. There's a few on YouTube on some very old YouTube videos of some of the animations of his. They're mostly just kind of scenes from PutleStory. There's one with Selnef just playing his sitar, his guitar, his lute. There's one with Nini and Nana doing a ritual chant of sorts. There's one with Tapi, Jan, and Zool doing a song as well. It's very, very interesting stuff, I will just say. I don't really want to, like, give my thoughts on, like, what I think you should think about it or anything like that. Just, like, I enjoy it a lot. I want to share it. I want more people to know this stuff's out there because... Nope. Nobody really does. My throat is giving out. I think that's where I'm going to end it today. My throat's just like, nope, you've been talking for like 3 hours now. That's enough for today. All right. Well, it's kind of weird wrapping up 2.5-ish months worth of work on a single video. I don't think I've done that in years. Like, the Panto story thing was pretty quick because I just had to figure out how to play it, get the hardware to play it, and play the game. I didn't have to do all the translating, and I didn't do much of any, like, the extra research or any of that kind of stuff at the time. I have now, and I think it's all very good. But yeah, PutleStory was its own, like, I'm gonna remember this for a long time. I haven't put this much effort into a YouTube video since probably the Project Spark thing, which was 2021. It was over 4 years ago. So, in any case, if you've enjoyed this or think this stuff is neat, I think it's neat. Cool. Awesome. Rad. If for some insane reason Akihito Izuhara or Ikoku Mizukami see any of this or this video, I like your work. I like it a lot. Very cool. Very, sugoi. I'm not gonna try to do that. But yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's great. I would like to see more of it in the future. Well, I'll enjoy more of it in the future. Just, you know, if you ever, like, continue putting stuff out of this stuff in the future or anything, I understand Izuhara just put out, like, a new animation short of something completely unrelated to any of this stuff. It involves, like, a sea otter or something. And, yeah. Just, like, yeah. Awesome! What's next? So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will return at some point. Like I said, I'm very, like, getting around to this has been me just really trying to get to it and work hard on getting everything set up. And then today happened to be the day when everything worked out and we got to record everything and show everything off. And yay, now I get to edit it all. So, what's next? I'm busy. I'm very busy with a few other projects, personal projects. I'm working other things for other people as well. So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the DLC will begin probably soonish. I'm not sure. Ghost of Tsushima, that is on the back burner again for that DLC. That won't happen for a while. Pokemon Soul Silver is getting shafted. I will just say that ahead of time for anybody who watched the first part and didn't watch the second part, because I know that happened as well. So I'm like, well, nobody watched the second part. I don't feel too bad about not continuing it right now. I'll pick it up eventually, probably, but, you know. Astro Bot, that is getting shafted as well. I haven't touched that since January. It is now... I'm recording this in the middle of May. It's going to be late May, maybe by the time that this goes up. I don't know when this is going up. Sometime in May, because it was supposed to all be done and gone up last month, but I got sick and work and other things like that and projects. Busy, busy, busy. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I would love to play the Oblivion remaster that just came out. I've been watching other people play that in my free time, and I'm loving it. I mainly because I did not get to finish my Oblivion playthrough for the channel that I started in 2020. I got like 6 parts in. I had a great time with it, but my new capture card, which I've explained a couple times now in the past couple parts throughout the years since then, the past 5 years. My new capture card is fine with the Xbox One, but it does not like my Xbox 360 for some reason. So that save data is on my 360. I don't know how to really transfer that to an Xbox One, but at the same time, I don't really want to set up my Xbox One because I'm not using my Xbox One right now. So I'm like, well, I'd be totally A-okay restarting everything over with the new Oblivion remaster, or as I was intending to do in the first place, restart everything over with Sky Oblivion, which isn't coming out till the end of the year, as it turns out, because this Oblivion remake from Bethesda and Virtuos was a shadow drop. I would love to play it. Probably not going to for a while. I will just flatly say, I would love to play the Oblivion remake. I'm probably not going to get to it for a while. I don't know when that while is. But who knows? I'm not going to be playing anything for the Switch 2. I'm not getting any, well, Switch 2 yet. I'm not getting the Switch 2 at launch. I know that comes out next month. If you're expecting Switch 2 content here, maybe wait another year or so. I like the PlayStation 5. I'm just going to wait a year or so and just see if there's any sales on the system, sales on the games, and more games will come out. Time is not that big of a deal for me in that. I'm not like, oh man, I need to play the hottest new thing now and now and now. I'm not that kind of guy. I just played a game from 1996 and read through a Flash storybook from like 2006 or 7 or something. So I'm just like, I'm not. The only game that I intend to play day one when it comes out within in the next couple years, honestly, would probably be The Witcher 4 or any other Witcher game that comes out. Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't come out till next year so far, unless it's delayed again. And I would like to play that around when it comes out, but I'm also not. I think that'll come down to whether or not I can get a copy or not, because it's going to be on PS5. But yeah. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff coming out. We got another year or two of just weird new releases and stuff. I'm in no hurry. I am in no hurry to play any of this stuff. I'm doing this at my own leisurely pace, which is also why I am hoping to get back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla again. I don't intend to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, at least anytime soon. I have seen plenty of gameplay of it. I think it's a little more jank than Valhalla. The visuals are not as crisp, in my opinion, or detailed. And the story I've seen so far is just kind of meh. It's not the worst Assassin's Creed story, but it's just kind of meh. It's kind of in line with, like, Origins and Odyssey, in my opinion. I didn't really care for either of those stories. Valhalla is absolutely fire for me. This is just catch-up talk time. This is podcast time. But yeah, Valhalla is better than Black Flag, in my opinion, and Black Flag was my favorite. Written by most of the same guys, if I remember right. I'm not entirely sure on that. But, yeah, Shadows looks fine. It's all right. It looks like it's just another Assassin's Creed game kind of built off a modified Valhalla engine, and the story doesn't hit like all of my trigger points of, oh yeah, I want to spend $60-$80 on this. It's like, it's not doing that. I might wait for it to drop down to 20 in like 3 years or something. But yeah, eventually I'll touch it. I'll see what it's really about, hands-on. I've seen most of the story so far. I haven't seen the ending of it, and that's intentional, so I don't ruin it for myself, because I'd like to see the ending myself if and I do enjoy the actual game. But who knows? Anything else? Anything else that I have? 'Cause it's been months. That's the thing. It's like it's been months since I've like recorded anything for YouTube. So I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to like set out everything that's going on right now. I don't know. I think that might be it for now. So, thank you for watching. We got the Switch 2 next month. We got more Assassin's Creed coming up. We got other stuff. I'm tired. So, thank you for watching, and have a good night.